Joining now is the Democratic Congressman Tom Malinowski of New Jersey. Congressman Malinowski is a member of the Foreign Affairs and Transportation and Infrastructure Committees, and he served as an Assistant Secretary of State for Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor during the Obama administration. Congressman Malinowski, thank you for being here. There are various reasons for calling for the impeachment or resignation of Donald Trump. One is punitive, as a punishment for being involved in an insurrection. One is to be a deterrent so that no other president does that. But there's a third one that's valid today, and that is he's got 10 days in office, and he does damage to democracy on an almost hourly basis. There is a great deal more that Donald Trump can do in his 10 days in office.
Well, that's absolutely right. And, you know, we talk about the assault on the Capitol that occurred on Wednesday, but it's an ongoing assault. These people went home feeling emboldened by the fact that they had gotten into the Capitol. They're living in this world of unreality in which they believe, thanks to the leadership of the Republican Party, which has emboldened them in this belief that they are part of some sort of righteous revolution. And they are planning to come back to the Capitol around the inauguration of Joe Biden. So this is an ongoing, clear, and present danger to the security of the Capitol and, of course, to the integrity of our democracy. And I'm tired of playing defense. I don't like seeing fences go up around Capitol Hill in the White House. We may have to do that, but that's defense. We need to be playing offense. We're done playing with these people. It is time to start drawing the line that Donald Trump has been erasing in this country between lawlessness and the rule of law.
There's a poll that was put out today by ABC News and Ipsos. It was taken between January 8th and 9th. It shows that 67% of Americans think that Donald Trump deserves a great deal or good amount of the blame for the riots. 33% say not so much or none. It's heartening that most Americans do think so. What's up with your Democratic colleagues? There are a few senators who have indicated that they think that what Donald Trump has done is impeachable or he should be removed from office. But in the House, nobody but Adam Kinzinger yet.
You mean my fellow Republicans?
I'm sorry, your fellow Republicans, correct. Thank you.
It's more than Adam Kinzinger, although he deserves a tremendous amount of credit for the courage that he has shown. I believe we would get, well, I don't know how many, but we would get several Republican votes if the vote were today. And, you know, the 7 Republican members who you just criticized, they all actually voted with us to certify the election of Joe Biden. They would agree that Donald Trump is responsible, but they're still stuck in this fear, this intimidation that he has imposed on the party. You know, I don't know how many conversations I've had with these guys over the last 2 years in which they say, you know, we know what he's doing, but if you confront him directly, he'll just get worse. His supporters will just get worse. Their basic argument is, if he shoots a guy in Fifth Avenue 5 times, we've got to forgive that and move on. Otherwise, things will get worse. And at this point, we're just, you know, I've enough of that. They have no alternative. They're not proposing any other means of holding him accountable and of drawing this line. And we're going to put this to a vote, and they are going to have to choose. I think what you're getting from this is fear. They're all getting death threats now, by the way, right? I'm used to that.
Yeah, no, and there's another piece of this poll in which they asked, should Donald Trump be removed from office before the term ends? 56% say yes. You'll recall in the last impeachment, it took a while to get to that. A lot of people didn't think it was impeachable, and then they got to that. So that clearly shows that it's across party lines, people who think that something needs to be done. The argument that a number of your Republican colleagues are making is that it will divide the country further. Impeachment is divisive. There's no question about that. But there's something else here that needs to be achieved, and that is the danger of the man in office. How do you square those two things? It will be divisive. We're divided.
Yeah. Well, you made the point that staging a violent assault on the United States Capitol to stop the Congress from doing its job is divisive. And we cannot have a relationship with the President of the United States in which he repeatedly violates the law. He repeatedly commits outrageous, unspeakable acts, and then we take it upon ourselves to move on to avoid disunity in the country. For 4 years, that's been happening. At least that's what the Republicans, the mainstream Republicans, have been advocating, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. So, you know, my message to them is, you don't want us to impeach him? What else are you willing to do? You know, remember, the reason we didn't impeach Richard Nixon was Republicans went to the White House and they said, it's time to resign, man. Now, if these Republicans were willing to go to the White House and tell Trump to resign, you know, I might let them take the lead, right? But they're not doing that either. They just want to move on as if this didn't happen. And that's absolutely not possible, not in a democratic rule of law republic when something like this happens.
Congressman, good to see you again. Thank you for joining us this morning. Democratic Congressman Tom Malinowski.